Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Stirk, for allowing me to come through and have a look at your property today. It was very well presented going through, and the living room was actually a lot bigger than what I thought it would be compared to the photos that you sent through.
Yeah, much bigger. And thank you for coming down to help me out with this. I'm really hoping to get this thing sold.
No, absolutely, my pleasure. Coming through the property, one of the things that I did notice is that you've recently updated the kitchen and the bathroom, and I tell you what, the property's got a wonderful flow going through that front entry. It really creates a sort of open house sort of feeling. I did notice going through that there is a little bit we can do here and there, a little bit of wear and tear. However, that is to be expected with a property of this age, being around the 1960s.
Yeah.
However, it is in a great location. The neighbours seem to be looking like they're looking after their properties pretty well. And to be honest, when it comes to market, a lot of people who are going to be looking at this property are either going to be looking at renovating, or they're going to be looking at doing a demolition and building something brand new.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, Mr. Stirk, before we get started, is it okay if I just ask you a couple of questions so I can best understand your needs?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now, I know we were chatting on the phone and exchanging through emails, but could you please go through with me again about what's the reason why you're looking at selling?
I don't know. I'm just getting too old now, and it's getting difficult for me to look after the place. It's just too big.
Yeah. So, are you looking at downsizing, or are you going to move in with some family and friends?
Probably moving with some family and friends, but we all know what that means.
Yeah, no, I understand, but we'll make sure we'll make the process as comfortable as possible for you. Speaking of which, is there a time frame in which you want the property sold?
So I'm looking to move in with quote unquote family and friends in about 8 months. So we'll probably go for the 6-month mark.
Yeah, okay. And have you ever sold before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. And last question, how long have you actually been living in this property?
Last 20 years.
Yeah, so there's a lot of memories attached with the property.
So many.
So many.
So many.
So you wouldn't be sort of too fussed if someone came through and wanted to demolish the property?
No. The memories, but you know, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And if it's the house time to move on to, well, so be it.
No, I completely understand. Like I said, we'll make the process as easy as possible. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to ask throughout this presentation.
Sweet. So, Mrs. Stirk, just a few more questions before we continue. I noticed you have a swimming pool out the back. By any chance, do you have a pool safety certificate for that?
Yes, we got that done 2 years ago.
Yeah, awesome. And that deck outside looks relatively new compared to the property. Is that council approved?
Absolutely. We've still got the paperwork for both of them. So
Awesome. Thanks for that. I'll probably need that information later on. Okay.
Ben, I've actually got some questions for you myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So first one, what are the influences that are most likely to affect the listing?
Well, no, that's a great question, Mr. Stirk. There's actually a lot of buyers out there at the moment, and your property's in a great location, being close to the schools. Currently, we're actually experiencing very low interest rates, so demand for properties are very high, which is all positive for your property.
That's good. I've actually got another question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the factors? Okay, I've actually got another question for you. What are some of the factors that could drive the value of the property?
Yeah, no, and that's an excellent question. What you can do is a few touch-ups here and there. So you can go through, maybe do another paint job, put in some new carpet, and just tidy up the lawn, tidy up the yard sort of area. If you are a bit sort of tight on cash, then maybe just simply focus on the lawn. Reason why I say that is because someone might go through the property and might want to change up some of those aspects. If they're coming in to do a demolition, then that won't necessarily matter. And like I said, if they come in and want to do a reno, they might actually change the carpets, change the blinds to a different color, maybe even change the paint. So you could look at those things, but at the end of the day, the main thing I recommend is probably looking after the lawn, looking after the yard. So that when people come through, it just enhances that wow factor.
Yeah, right. I see. A bit of DIY.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Now, Ben, the question that I'm dying to know: how much should I sell my property?
Yeah, and that's an excellent question. What I brought here today is what we call a CMA. Now, what I've done through this one here is I've gone through past sales in the area that is similar to your property, as well as other properties that are currently on the market that is like yours. Through the research, what it suggests is that your property would be somewhere between $600,000 and $650,000. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. I thought about the 600 grand mark. I like it, but I reckon we could do it for 200K more. What do you think?
Look, Mr. Sturka, it's not really advisable to go to the market at that.
Okay.
See, at the moment, if you were to price your property 200K more than what other properties are similar to yours are, it will make those properties look a lot better than yours. Essentially, you're making their properties look cheap and theirs would sell. And one of the biggest risks, or one of the risks that we face, is that your property is then stuck. Essentially,
I see.
yeah, it's paused there in limbo because the first 4 weeks of going to market is that prime time where you can achieve that premium on your property. So it's not really advised that you do price your property like that because, like I said, it just makes all the other properties look good, and we miss out on that premium time frame.
Oh, okay. I understand. Right. Don't want to make their houses look better than mine. I gotta sell.
No, absolutely, because we want to sell your property just so you can move on, and that's one of the main objectives.
What is an appropriate method of sale and why?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mrs. Sturk. For your property, especially with the location and the demand, the one thing that I recommend is going private treaty for your property. Reason why I recommend that compared to, say, an auction is that your property is in that value range that is close to the bracket of first home buyer market. The reason why we don't want to do auction is we don't want to scare away that sort of buyer's market, because they'll be using clauses such as building and person finance clauses to be able to obviously purchase properties. And now with auctions, you don't have those.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not to say that people can't come up to you and offer you a good amount of money without those clauses. But at the end of the day, we want to get as many offers as we can for your property, so we can create a multiple offer situation. In regards to the actual price amount of your property, rather than putting an exact amount, what I want to do is an offers over strategy. The reason why I want to do offers over strategy is because we're not limiting ourselves with an actual price. We haven't set a ceiling on what we can achieve. That way, we can get those multiple offers in, get them to compete. Right. And we, like I said, we don't have that ceiling. So we're taking advantage of all that demand without actually shooting ourselves in the foot by limiting what market we can go to.
I see. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Now, Mr. Sturk, in order to get the best price for your property, we're going to have to market it. Is it right if we spend a little bit of time to talk about how we can do that for you?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear it.
Awesome. Now, we have a one-off fee that covers everything. This includes the majority of websites such as realestate.com domain. Now, you've got to understand that realestate.com is actually the majority of the cost. I think from the top of my head, realestate.com charges around $2,900 per listing. However, the majority of clicks come through that, and they know that, so they charge us for that. The fees also include all the other basics such as brochures, signboards, all the stuff that we need to make your property stand out amongst the others and to get the people through the door. So how does that sound?
Sounds terrific. So Ben, what's next?
Okay, so what we got to do to start off all that marketing, and like I said, it's a one-off fee of around $3,300. Now, like I said, that covers everything. And what I'll be doing with that money is I'll be going back and reporting with you each week about how much interest we have in the property, the amount of people that we've had through the open homes, as well as how well the marketing's actually doing.
I see.
Okay, awesome. My commission, what I charge, is a flat rate of 3%. That covers all reporting back to you and all the other activities that I'll be doing in order to get your property sold, such as building repairs, negotiating with clients. Now do keep in mind that you don't have to pay that 3% unless I actually sell the property.
Oh, cool. That's good news.
Awesome.
So Ben, I hear that there are other agents who are throwing around numbers of 1.5% for their commission. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, Mr. Sick, there are other agents out there that do have a lot lower commission or will lower their commission in order to get your business. I won't really discount my commission, and is it all right if I explain why?
Yeah, please help me to understand.
No, absolutely. It's because I don't deliver discounted results. Now, you see, there are going to be other agents out there that will lower their commission by a certain amount to earn your business, right? When it comes time for them to negotiate on your behalf to get the best price out there, how do you think they would do if they drop their commission so low to get your business?
From what you're telling me, Ben, it probably sounds like they don't have my best interests in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal out here is to get the best price for you out on the market. So when it comes time to sell, you know full well that you got the best amount possible. Yep.
So Ben, when are you guys gonna do the inspections? My partner and I don't leave the house until about noon.
Look, that's completely fine, Mrs. Stirk, and at the end of the day, we'll work around you. We tend to always have open homes on Saturdays. That's usually the standards. However, we will have people giving us a call to book inspections for your property because they can't make that particular day due to like other obligations. First and foremost, we will work around you. We'll make the process as like comfortable as possible. But yeah.
Oh, lovely. I've got a serious question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When would you be reporting back to us about inspection? Because my partner and I don't like to be disturbed after 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's completely fine, Mr. Stirk. Like I said before, at the end of the day, we'll work around you. The standard process is that we have our inspections on Saturday. On Monday, I'll be doing open home calls. And on Tuesday, I'll be sending you through a report. I'm more than happy to call you directly after the open homes if you would like that. Often I find that different clients have different ways that they like to be kept up to date.
Yes. Okay.
Throughout private inspections, I can give you a call straight after that. But I'm more than happy to just not give you a buzz after 6 p.m.
Lovely. Thank you. Okay. So Ben, English isn't my first language. Surprise, surprise. And my husband and my partner has a hard time hearing. Could you, with what you've spoken to us today, could you send us a email with all that, and could you potentially send my daughter one as well?
Yeah, absolutely. With everything that we've talked about here today, I'll put it into a nice email. That way you can read through it again once we're all finished up today. I do ask if you could send me an email just containing your daughter's information, and then that way I could keep her in the loop. Would you like me to keep her through the loop throughout the entire process?
If you can, that'd be great.
Yeah, awesome. Well, like I said, send me that information through to me, and I can give her a buzz or you let her know what's going on. But yep.
So Ben, any private inspections must take place around lunchtime so we can get out of the house. Is that going to be a problem?
Look, Mr. Stirk, that's not going to be a problem. At the end of the day, we work around you. Lunchtime is actually one of our busiest times to show properties because obviously people get time off work and they can go off and have a look. If myself is unable to make it, I'll have another person at the office to take them through.
Awesome.
And check it out. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Stirk, here I have a Form 6 and I would like to just go over everything what's on here just so we understand what we're deciding on today. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So to start off with, part 3 is just the general description of your property. In regards to these sort of details, we get it from a title search. So we'll start up here where it says description. For your property, it's residential land with the property included with the land. Yours is also lot number 22. From the title search, we also got the plan numbers as well as the title reference numbers. So that's just information that just goes on, general description about your property.
For part 4, section 2, it deals with the listing. With you go an exclusive listing, which gives us 90 days to try and sell your property. Do keep in mind in that time frame, you can't get another agent to try and sell your property. If you do, there is a risk of you being charged double commission. The price as well, of which we discussed, was somewhere between 600 and 650. So would you be comfortable with around that, say, $620,000 mark?
Yeah, for sure. That's fine.
Awesome.
Hey Ben, what's the difference between an open and exclusive listing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I was saying before, exclusive listings means we're your guys. It means only we can sell it within that 90-day period. Now, do keep in mind, you can choose not to sell it. We're not going to force you or anything like that, but we'll let you know, obviously, if there's a good deal out there. Open listing means that multiple agents can go off and sell your property. Obviously, the advantages of that is you've got multiple people working for you. However, compared to an exclusive listing, where it's just one person solely focused on your property, you're going to get a lot more effort that's involved when it comes to the sale.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, just continuing on with the actual Form 6. So with Part 7, we agreed on a commission of 3%. With Part 8, which is the authorization of fees. So that's just pretty much marketing. Like I said, it's only a flat rate of $3,300, which covers everything. So there's no surprises or anything on the way. So that's all that was sort of charging. So do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions.
No worries.
So what's next? That is the question. That is a question. I don't have any questions, so what's next? So Ben, now that I've filled out the Form 6, what's next?
Well, now that the paperwork is all done, this is where it gets exciting. We don't actually require the marketing fees until 2 weeks into the actual campaign. Reason for that is because that's when they start charging us. However, now that we're signed and we're ready to go, in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll go back to the office, I'll call up some people, see if we can drum up some interest before the property hits the market. But apart from that, I look forward to doing business and I'm really excited.
All right.